So in this week's video, we'll see how to make garlic butter naan. You know what's funny? Naan in Indian means bread. So when we're calling it naan bread, we're literally saying bread. Anyway, we're not here to learn the name, right? We're here to learn how to make this bread. Now there's loads of recipes out there using baking powder, but I do like to keep it yeasted. You do get a lot more flavor out of it that way. And it's still just as easy to make. And as always, for full details, check the video description down below. So let's see what equipment we'll need. As always, bowl, scales, scraper, temperature probe, we'll need a brush and a rolling pin. I'll use a non-stick pan to cook the breads in. Now ingredients: some strong white bread flour, milk, yogurt, some yeast, some salt, some sugar, and a little bit of oil. For the garlic butter, use some soft butter, parsley, and a bit of garlic. Now the garlic butter is super easy to make. Just mix your butter with your parsley, add the crushed garlic, and just a little pinch of sea salt. Or whatever salt you have. It doesn't have to be sea salt, but you know, it's nice. And now, just give it a good mix so everything's nice and smooth, and keep it on the side for later. My kitchen's quite warm, so I want my milk to be around 19 degrees C. So let's begin. Get your bowl, add your milk and the sugar, and then add the yeast and let it hydrate just for a couple of minutes. And then go in with the rest: salt, oil, and yogurt. And then give it a good mix, just to dissolve any large salt crystals. And once you're happy with that, add the flour. And then grab your scraper and give it a good mix in the bowl until you don't see any more dry flour. After a good mix, tip it out on table. This is quite a dry dough, so I'll just bring it together and use a regular kneading method by pressing the heel of my right hand down and forwards and using the fingers of my left hand to fold the piece of dough under the heel of my right hand, then turn and repeat. This process is quite easy and it should not take more than 5 to 7 minutes to get adequate gluten development. So just pop a can of elbow grease and keep at it. And once you're happy with it, shape it into a ball, ready for its first proof. I should always take the temperature of the dough. My dough came out a little bit warmer than I wanted it to, about half a degree, but that's fine. Cover it and proof it for around 25 to 30 minutes. And after the first proof, we'll give it a fold. The folds will achieve a couple of things for this kind of dough. For one, it will degas it and prevent any large air bubbles forming. But also the folding will equalize the temperature in the dough. If it's warm on the inside and cool on the outside, by folding you are distributing that temperature evenly throughout the dough, thus giving you an even fermentation. So to fold it, just flatten the dough, pull the edges over the middle, go around in a circle until it reaches the point where you started, then flip it smooth side up and tighten it against the table, and then back in the bowl it goes for another 25-30 minutes of proofing. So proofing times will vary depending on your dough temperature, but generally you want to see it double in size. That's your indicator. Now it's time to divide it and pre-shape it. This recipe makes 4 decent sized naans. You can use the scales to weigh out your dough pieces, or you can eyeball it. It all depends on how consistent you want to be. It doesn't really matter, it'll still taste the same. To pre-shape them, we'll do the same process as we did with folding. Flatten the dough out, fold the edge over the middle, going around in a circle until you reach the point where you started. Then flip them smooth side up, tighten against the table, and that's it. And you always have some more to practice on. And after the pre-shaping, you want to cover them and leave them to rest. The resting stage will take around 30 minutes. During this time, the dough will proof up a little bit more, but also the gluten will relax. It will make it a lot easier for us to roll out the dough pieces. And as you can see, they're puffed up nicely. Now we can shape them. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can either roll them out and cook them straight away, and whilst the first one's cooking you can roll the next one, or you can just roll all of them and then cook them. But what I like to do is to start off by rolling them just a little bit. At this point the gluten in the dough might still resist a little bit of your rolling, and if you pick it up and handle it, it may pull back together. So what I'll do is I'll just use a rolling pin, roll the dough out to about half the size that I want. You can stretch with your hands as well, and place it on the side and repeat with the rest of the dough pieces. And once they have all been rolled out, take the piece that you started with and roll it once again. And you will see that now it will be a lot easier to roll it to the desired shape and size. It will give in a lot easier. And you know, the thickness and the size is up to you. I mean, you don't want it extremely thick because it will take ages to cook. But it can be done thicker or thinner to your preference. Now once you've finished rolling, grab a plate or a tray and rub it with a little bit of oil. And then take the dough pieces and rub them with oil as well. And then just place them on top of each other. This will not only prevent them from sticking to each other, but it will also give us some cooking medium, which will help us in getting a nice surface of the dough. Now it's cooking time, so get your pan on a medium to high heat. You can stretch the dough out by hand a little bit more, as it might have pulled together whilst it was resting on the plate. And then place it straight into the middle of the pan and cook it. And we want to cook these for about 4 minutes. You want to flip them every 30 seconds. Flipping them will cook them nice and evenly. You could do a couple at a time, but the electric ring on my hob mostly heats the center of the pan, and that's why I'm doing them one by one. In about 4 minutes, it should have puffed up nicely and have some nice color on it. But that's your naan, simple as that. You may have noticed that there's only 3 left. That's because I munched one while I was cooking them. There is a final step we need to take though, to make this garlic naan. Grab your garlic butter and a brush and smother them. Sometimes people brush only one side. I don't care, brush all over. But you know, if you are making garlic butter naan, then butter should be a significant ingredient. Just go for it. They will stay nice and soft for a while. Obviously they're best consumed while still warm. I mean, it was so good that one of them didn't even make it this far. That garlic butter really sets them off, makes them super rich and garlicky. And that is the garlic butter naan. So just grab your favorite curry and enjoy. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, write them down in comments. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. I make baking videos every week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.